Firefighters spent the night on hotspot patrol after a major fire on Fargo's south side that forced the evacuation and relocation of more than 100 care center residents. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with the Valley today. I'm Lisa Bedeau here with Jordan Schreier. We're just getting started with our nonstop news and weather till the top of the hour to help you plan your day.
As fire crews scrambled to Elam Care Center on South University yesterday afternoon, staff members were evacuating nursing home residents away from the danger. But that wasn't their last stop of the day. In the Valley today's Abby Furchner joins us live right now from the scene to tell us what we know. Good morning, Abby.
Good morning, Jordan and Lisa. It is a quieter scene here than yesterday afternoon when that fire first broke out at the Elam nursing home. But crews have been here overnight and all morning checking for those hot spots and trying to determine the cause of the fire. But as for those 111 residents, they will be waking up in a new but safe place this morning as they were relocated last night from the elementary school adjacent to Elam, where they'd been taken to as the fire was burning on the other side of campus. Then starting around 9 p.m., people were transported in special vans to a number of other facilities in the area. State officials are coordinating the relocations to temporary facilities. The goal, while they were temporarily housed in the school, was to keep them as comfortable as possible.
You would be surprised that they are doing really well in this crisis situation, like everybody else, waiting to find out what the next step is for them. But that's in motion. All of that is in motion, and so we're just waiting for the final execution, and we'll help transport people to a safe, warm place where their medical needs will be attended to, and their ongoing care can continue just like it did here at Elam.
Now, we do know that crews are also working on trying to restore heat and power to this side of the building so that residents can go back inside. But also the scramble to find that temporary housing is very similar to what happened during that record flood in 2009. During that spring, 375 nursing home residents in the Fargo community were relocated to other facilities, as well as 200 Merit Hospital, MetraCare Hospital in downtown Fargo. Those patients were also relocated to other facilities as well. And with this being a 4-alarm fire, that just shows the extent of how severe and how extreme this fire really was.
Yeah, it was a huge fire, but their evacuation plan apparently went off flawlessly and no one was hurt. So good news in a bad situation. Abby Furchner reporting live. Thank you.
Fire and repair crews will now be working on cleanup and getting power and heat restored to the south side of the building so they can get residents back in as soon as possible. Damage is limited to the north side of the building, but it's pretty extensive. Now,
this was a 4-alarm firefight, as you just heard Abby say as well, meaning nearly every available unit in Fargo was there. Off-duty firefighters were also called in to be ready for any other emergencies around town. Fargo's fire chief credits everyone involved with a great response.
They had a plan in place, they implemented it, they practiced it, and it worked flawlessly this afternoon. They did a great job. Commendations to them.
The chief says the great news is that none of the residents or the staff were hurt.
2 firefighters did receive minor injuries, but they were treated and released from the hospital. Just minutes after firefighters arrived at the Elam fire, a 911 call came in about another fire. This one at a storage facility on the north side. And this is exactly why off-duty crews are pulled back to work during a 4-alarm fire.
3 of 5 attached units were badly damaged at 1701 First Avenue North. And that fire was hard to put out because of all of the items that were stored inside the units. As you can see from the video, crews had to empty every unit to make sure that the flames were completely out.
8 minutes now before 7. Let's get a check of our Friday forecast with meteorologist Lisa Green.
Good morning. We're breaking out the North Dakota DOT map yet again today to talk about those road conditions this morning because we're dealing with some patchy areas of dense fog in our western viewing area. So that includes places like Devil's Lake and Jamestown and down into Valley City as well. We're seeing that fog and a colorful DOT map right now. You can see that in green here. We've got a lot of that showing up. That's seasonal road conditions. That's the best color we can have have here. In blue, that's frost, and we're seeing that over by Devil's Lake, the light blue, and then down again into southeastern parts of North Dakota, deposited from the fog that we're dealing with. And then there are some patchy areas of yellow indicating ice. And so those are some areas where we're dealing with some additional slick spots here in the valley. And taking a look at one of our DOT cams in Verona, a couple of things to note here. One, the visibility is of course down. It looks pretty murky in our view, but also out to the left-hand side of your screen, you could see some ice buildup on the camera as well. And we've had some of that frost from the fog lately in some areas. And so this is going to be an issue for us again for this morning in this area. So we're looking at a quarter-mile visibility in Valley City. Gwinner's at a quarter-of-a-mile visibility. Candu's at 2 miles. We're looking fine over to the east. Cooperstown is at 1.5 miles, and Oaks is at about 3 miles. So the Valley City and Gwinner area are the greatest areas of concern right now for dense fog. And the snow that was in our eastern viewing area, that's generally moved on. Still seeing a couple of flakes, some clouds over by the Bemidji area that could be producing some flurries at this point, but generally speaking, that's done. And temperatures that are mild, some 20s ahead of us here today to step out the door now and beyond. And looking at your wind speeds, we've got winds light out of the north up to about 10 miles per hour, and that's about it. So a pretty good day here today. We just have to watch out for that fog. And it's going to be a little gray too. We've got mostly cloudy skies ahead. Into the afternoon, we'll see some breaks in those clouds and hopefully get a little sun in spots, but again, overall more on the cloudy side today. Overnight tonight, we'll zip ahead to tomorrow because not a lot of change. We'll see some numbers into the teens to start off your Saturday. And this weekend still looks fantastic. Some 20s to about 30 degrees both Saturday and Sunday with no real good shot at snow coming up for the weekend. And now for a look at traffic, here's Devin Fry with the Valley Today's Traffic on the Move.
Thank you, Lisa. We're going to be finishing up this hour on I-94 heading eastbound toward Minnesota. Now you can see how limited the traffic flow is around me in the eastbound lanes. Things are moving pretty freely on the interstates this morning, which is good news. It's not creating any real backups anywhere. Whichever direction you're going on either of our two interstates, things seem to be going fairly smoothly. You can see the westbound lanes of I-94 looking a little bit more crowded, but overall nothing that's holding up the traffic flow. Everyone's still moving through there smoothly. So good news there as they make their way on their morning commute. Now, as far as the road conditions go, there's a lot of wet surface on the road, but the main factor is that there are still some slick spots to watch out for. Now, I mentioned that the traffic flow is moving more freely. Everyone's feeling a little bit more comfortable on the roads. Everyone's driving a little bit faster, but please be aware the slick spots are still here on the interstates. Please approach them with caution. We're going to keep checking out the roadways in the next hour on the Fargo CW, but for now, for your traffic on the move, I'm Devin Fry.
Police across the country are on the lookout for a North Dakota man who is accused of sexually assaulting a 5-year-old girl. 36-year-old Roberto Alvarez is charged with two counts of aggravated rape.
Alvarez is originally from Minto, but has connections to the Fargo-Moorhead and Grand Forks areas. He also goes by the names Roberto Sanchez and Carlos Sanchez. Take a look at your TV right now, and if you spot him, call your local law enforcement right away. Police think a national theft ring is in the Fargo area, so you need to be vigilant about hiding your valuables. The thieves hit a couple of gyms on the south side of town early yesterday morning by busting out windows and grabbing valuables.
Police say it's likely part of the so-called Felony Lane Gang, which focuses on fitness centers and daycares. Similar crimes have been reported in West Fargo, Grand Forks, and Sioux Falls. Fargo police say 7 arrests have been made in connection to this crime ring from Florida to North Dakota. The Salvation Army is calling 2019 another successful year. They raised $895,000 through its Red Kettle campaign. That's just shy of the $900,000 goal.
Bell ringers started November 14th and ended on Christmas Eve. The Salvation Army is offering up a huge thank you to everyone who helped out and stayed strong through the harsh winter. And you know what? You can still donate. Consider doing it on Giving Hearts Day. You can find all the details on how to do that by going to our Valley News Live homepage or by using our Valley News Live news app. The Grand Rapids, Minnesota hockey community is rallying around one of their own, the family of a 9-year-old boy who died in a farm accident, and they want you to help too. The Itasca County Sheriff's Department says Marshall Turbo Vader died Sunday in an accident on his family's farm. Marshall was a squirt hockey player and a regular at outdoor rinks around the area.
His teammates and friends are encouraging everyone to leave a stick outside your front door in Marshall's memory. The hashtag Sticks Out for Marshall triggered a landslide of photos and tributes for the young skater. The Minnesota Wild also heard the call and posted their own shot on Facebook showing hockey sticks outside their locker room.
Kids at Sanford and Essentia hospitals got a surprise visit from these guys, the Fargo Force. And those kids were left with something extra to hold on to. The team collected 731 teddy bears during their game on January 4th. And yesterday afternoon, the players went room to room, passing out those stuffed animals.
Donations will be made to the YWCA, the Boys and Girls Club, Ronald McDonald House, Red River Children's Advocacy Center, and Little Boomers at Timber Creek, along with Bright Beginnings. Let's get the answer now to our question of the morning. Here's that question. 21% of people wear this on a daily basis.
The answer? A Fitbit. I do see them. Remember, you can play along every weekday morning by heading to our Valley News Live Facebook page. And on to the weekend, and it looks great.
It is looking really good. Temperatures on the mild side coming up for the weekend. And today, too, we have some pretty good temperatures out there. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with, though. There are places where we have fog. This is our DOT cam view in Verona, and you can see in our western viewing area, we're struggling in some spots. We're down to 0 visibility in Gwinner and a quarter mile right now in Valley City. So dense fog to the west, leading to low visibility and perhaps some slick spots. This weekend, I do want to mention, most of the weekend looks great. There's a slight chance for a little bit of drizzle or light snow Saturday night.
Thank you, Lisa. The Today Show and CBS This Morning are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on. Join us right now on the Fargo CW.